Uh, Good morning, everybody. It's the earliest I've ever done a live stream, I think, since I've been doing this. Again, if you just want to share this out, Tommy is free. That's 100% confirmed. Let me know you can hear everything and everything's working, because again, this is just a very, very, very quick stream. Tommy's was freed from prison probably it's probably about an hour and a half ago now. I'm going to pull up the stream from X. Now, it might not work too well. We'll see how we get on with it. So I'm going to try and do that now. So just bear with me while I mess about with the technicalities of it. Okay, let's get that into the stream there. I'll just make myself very small in the corner. Okay, so let's see if we can get this playing. So he made a speech when he came out of the prison. He came out of the prison, obviously flanked by his security, because again, I mean, the reality is that there's still a threat on Tommy's life. Hi guys, just let me know that you guys can hear me okay. Yeah, just give me a thumbs up, because again, I've set this up very quickly. I know it takes a bit of time setting these things up. Just let me know you can hear, guys. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and play this video from the beginning. And we'll see how we go with it. Okay, see how this goes.
But the important bit, no one is hearing them. No, zero press is here. Yeah. No, but
and obviously you can hear Wendell. Wendell doing the camera.
Yeah.
So
we're live.
Thanks, Steve.
So good morning to all of you who are watching. We're currently coming to you live on direct from.
Let me know you can hear the audio from Twitter as well. Let me know you can hear that, guys. Yeah.
Just been released. Tommy Robinson has just been released. I've just found out he's been released.
Can you hear that from Twitter, guys? Yeah.
Late last night. So a microphone is currently being placed on Tommy. So a microphone's. So you can hear Tommy in the background. Tommy is now walking out. Big up, Tommy! Yeah.
Just let me know you can hear.
So Tommy Robinson.
You can hear the audio feed from.
So he's
Woodhill.
Yeah, we're live on X. If you come here, Tom.
I look taller.
Oh my God, you look great. What's this? What is this great hairstyle you've now got?
I've had short back and side since year 8.
Excellent stuff. So, so Tommy, it's so great to see you. You've been incarcerated in this horrible place since October. Can you tell me, first of all, how are you? How are you feeling, boss?
I feel good. Unfortunately, in a country that doesn't believe in free speech, being a citizen journalist, this place is an occupational hazard. It's ridiculous. 16 years ago, when I first started speaking out against Islamic rape gangs that were plaguing this country, from that point on, I faced relentless attacks from the British state, wielding lawfare as a weapon in order to silence me. I have never been convicted by a jury. Every one of my convictions have been handed down to me by judges. The lucky thing with this, everyone got to see the film. I have to say thank you to Elon Musk, because without X, if we didn't have X, everyone would just think I lied. No one would have got any other narrative. Fortunately, I think, 167 million people saw the truth. So that gagging order, these attempts at censorship, to silence, to cancel people, it hasn't worked. You've attempted to lock up the truth, and that truth has been echoed around the entire globe. It couldn't have been any more successful. I knew exactly what I was doing when I released that film. I knew I'd end up in there, and I also knew they'd give them every opportunity to pull every trick they wanted to, from messing with visits, to messing with phone calls, to messing with food. I knew that. But I made the decision to release that film because the British public deserved to see the truth. For too long, since the start of my activism in 2009, police raids, court cases, I actually thought when I walked out of here this time, it would be the first time since 2009 that I haven't been awaiting trial or prison. And bang, I'm awaiting trial and prison on multiple cases again now. But I've watched from the start of my activism. First of all, I saw Geert Wilders. Geert Wilders was targeted with hate speech laws and prosecutions. I've looked in America. This is the playbook that's played out across the entire globe. If we look in America, look what they've done to Steve Bannon. Look what they've done to Alex Jones, £1 billion. Donald Trump would face the rest of his life in prison if he did not win that election. Look now recently with Marie Le Pen. They've stopped their standing. Look at Katie Hopkins in our country. They took her home. They took her family home. Lawfare has been waged against anyone who has challenged the globalist narratives, challenged open border, challenged mass immigration, even challenged vaccines, any of it. They come at you from every angle. That's what I've experienced. But fortunately, if Elon Musk did not purchase X, I don't think that people understand the importance of it. If he didn't, you'd have been lied to about this entire case. If you go on my Wikipedia page and read all my previous convictions, this would have been another one where they'd have told you I lied. That again, what did you see? If you're one of the people that watched that film, you might not have believed me before. You may have hated me based on a narrative spoon-fed to you by a media who want to tell you who we are. They want to tell you how to think. And I knew in that documentary, that painted a far bigger story than me. That was a story of any whistleblower, anyone. You've seen in my film how they silence people, NDAs, bullying, intimidation, scare tactics, and even attempts at prison. But one positive, even General Flynn, look what they've done to General Flynn in the United States. Everyone has faced it, but I'd like to take a positive rather than contiguous negatives. What is the positive? Did their gag and order work? Did it work? 167 million people saw that film. Do you know the moment I had in the first week of January? Because this could have gone the other way. That I could have released that film. They could have managed to censor it, which they did off all other platforms. There's only X and Rumble. They're the only ones that they're not able to control. If Elon hadn't bought it, no one would have seen that film. Everyone had been lied to. But instead, 167 million people saw the truth. You saw how they weaponized the judiciary. You saw the corruption, the blatant evidence of the corruption that no media, no journalists have spoke about. And then the Attorney General made it clear I was going to face continued prosecutions. I would have had indefinite prison sentences for a film as a journalist. But the best moment for me when I was in there was when I heard that Elon Musk had shared the Rape of Britain documentary. The Rape of Britain documentary series is the most important work I've done. They have attempted, before my activism in 2009, they'd successfully, for decades, covered it up. Who had covered it up? Politicians, police forces. In every constituency where those gangs had raped, they'd successfully managed to cover up. Now, the truth is out there. There is no amount of lawfare that can keep it hidden. Everyone knows what's happened.
If you remember, Tommy, the last time I saw you was on the 6th of January when I visited this prison. And on that day, I was with someone else. Yeah, I was with, and if you remember, Elon Musk had chucked Nigel Farage under the bus, and you were so elated and you were happy. And at that time, you was in segregation. Since then, people have moved into the same unit you were in. How has that affected you?
So I haven't seen anyone who's moved into that unit. So when I come into this prison, there was they gave me 40 cells. So we keep hearing about prisons being full. When I landed, I had 16 cells, and then I was taken to, do you know what I've done? I've had the best opportunity. I've had 7 months of interviewing staff. I've been on the separation centre. That's where I was having my days. When you come and visited me, it was the first week of January, right?
That's correct.
I was elated because I knew that this had been successful, that the public had seen the truth, that they could be lied to no more, that more people around the entire world were talking about the rape of a generation of our daughters, which has been facilitated and accommodated by our government. So, yeah, I'm just...
On the 5th of June, you will be appearing in Westminster Magistrates Court charged with an offence. And what do you have to say to all of those people who will be coming down on the day to support you?
You saw how they politicised the courts and the judiciary against me. But what you saw last summer was Keir Starmer, and it's now been proven as lies. When the riots started, Keir Starmer came out and said it was the far right, it was the English Defence League. That's what the police and the government had said. Now, we now know it's proven there was no far right. There was no English Defence League. The English Defence League ended a decade before it. But what the bigger picture is that the mainstream media act as a weapon of our state. So when Keir Starmer said that, journalists from the families during a break, they photographed my family. They run a headline saying instigating riots from his sunbed. Now, everyone knows I didn't instigate riots. There's no truth in that. But as the government was spreading one lie, the media stepped in to push that lie to the whole world. 10 million views that had. When that article went out, they photographed my children, they photographed my ex-wife. My family have death threats and serious threats of harm against them. They gave the location of where they were. That's not journalism. It's harassment, it's persecution. They put back. And at that time, when they were blaming the far right, everyone saw how the courts were weaponized over a 48-hour period, where angry British citizens, justified anger, because £15 billion has been spent housing men who have invaded this nation. Many of them have left those hotels to rape, commit terrorism, sexually assault women. So the public are angry, the public are frustrated at what's happening in their country. They weaponized the courts. They locked up grandmas, granddads, mothers. These buildings are full of violent criminals. Lucy Connolly's not a violent criminal. Lucy Connolly made a statement. She was angry. She deleted it and apologized. She got 3 years. If you watch my film, you saw Antifa extremists come to my family's home, threaten to murder them. They don't get arrested. They politicise the courts. They politicise the judiciary. That was to scare you, to scare the public into it, and to intimidate them into silence. That was the purpose. That was their goal. That's what their goal was. Have they been successful in doing that? I want to talk about the United Kingdom on the 13th of September. I've come out of here. There is a war being waged on Britain, and it's being waged by our leaders, and it's a war against free speech. Our weapon is free speech. They can't allow it, because if everyone can exercise their free speech, if we have platforms for free speech, we can highlight their abuses, we can highlight their corruption. On the 13th of September, we started organising United Kingdom rallies. I think the last one had over 100,000 people. We want to hold a free speech festival in London as a show of defiance. And at this free speech festival, it's going to be United Kingdom /MAGA/Mega. United Kingdom, because people, and I'm sorry in Scotland, I'm sorry Wales, I'm sorry Northern Ireland, it's going to be in our capital city again. It has to be. People coming from every corner of the globe, speakers from Australia, from Canada, from America, from Denmark, from Germany, from Holland, from Poland. We're not just uniting the kingdom, we're uniting the world. And London is going to be the centre for it. It's going to be a festival of free speech. It's going to be a day of celebration to celebrate our weapon and to celebrate what they hate most, which is free speech. So if I can do 7 months in there for free speech, you can do a day in London, 13th of September. Book your travel, book your hotel, bring your families, bring your smiles, bring your flags. If anyone's been to the last ones, they're amazing. He's out. They're brilliant. So get yourself there. That's my message. Is that.
And my final question,
and
Tom,
those journalists, where you on those journalists,
right.
They come, they follow my family, they put a target on their back, they dox their location. So then I challenged them. I just couldn't. All my tweets are there. I said, I'm going to come and find you and I'm going to question you. Yeah, I'm going to come. I said, I'm going to come knock on your door. They wouldn't answer the phone, I'm going to come and knock on your door. So if you followed my story in the last 18 months, just in the last 18 months, I went into London to attend an anti-Semitism rally, and I was targeted by the police as a journalist. I was violently attacked. I was pepper sprayed at point blank range. Then I was arrested. I was charged. For 6 months, I was banned from my capital city. It cost £40,000. We won the case. The judge found that everything they'd done was unlawful. No one gets punished on their side. I had 6 months not allowed into my capital city. I didn't get the £40,000 back. We didn't get any of the money back. We had that. Now, I've just had an 18-month prison sentence for making a documentary as a journalist. 18 months in prison. Counter-terrorism. Counter-terrorism detained me the day after a £100,000 celebration. I was detained under counter-terrorism legislation, where they told me, we don't suspect you of any crime. We know you're not a terrorist, but we want access to your mobile phone. I refused to give them access to my mobile phone because as a journalist, where I believe in free press and a free country and free speech, I don't believe the state had the right to intrude on who my source of information are. So I was charged and prosecuted with counter-terrorism. Now, the reason I have such a target on my back all comes back to the rape gang scandal. Who's the head of counter-terrorism? I think his name's Dukes. He was the same police officer who was in charge of the Rotherham scandal from 2006 to 2010. He was in charge of allowing Muslim men to rape their way through that town, raping all those girls. He's got dirty hands. So now he's in charge of counter-terrorism. So counter-terrorism legislation is used to prosecute me. I'm back on trial on the 13th of October facing prison for not giving them access to my phone. And now, on the 5th of June, I have to go to court, which they come in last week, the Metropolitan Police Force again, because I said I'm going to question some Daily Mail journalists. The Daily Mail journalists that lied saying I instigated riots, that gave the location of my family and showed the images of my family. For daring to say, I want to question you, I now face a 10-year prison sentence for that. And Keir Starmer has the audacity to sit in the Oval Office and talk about free speech and lie about free speech to J.D. Vance and President Trump. There is no free speech. The best thing about this is everyone in every corner of the globe knows Britain is a total embarrassment. They are traitors to our forefathers who sacrificed everything for freedom, and they're taking it away, not from me. This isn't about silencing me. Every part of this is about stopping you. It's about censoring you. They don't want you to see the truth. They want to control you. They want to tell you how to think about me, how to think about everyone, everything. And what we saw with the United Kingdom rally, as people were massed in their 100,000, and what you've seen with the recent election, is the public are awake. And mass awakening has happened. It continues to happen. The more they target us, and to the establishment or the people making these decisions with these court cases, it's stressful, but you've given me another opportunity. When you come to me for this film, it had 200,000 views. It's now on 167 million. You're going to awaken more people, because all I'm going to do is piece together what you've done, your lies, the attacks that the media have done, and the public are going to see it. So even if you send me to jail again, you don't control every social media anymore. You don't no longer have the monopoly. You used to attack us like this, and no one would be able to see the truth. No one would be able to watch these videos. Instead, now people are going to be able to see it. People can watch it. Again, I'm looking forward to September the 13th. I'm looking forward to getting back to my family. They know, I said, like, they know what locking someone up. I spent the entirety of that sentence on solitary confinement against the advice of the medical teams in that prison, against the advice of independent medical teams that come in, against all of it. Do you know who's not on solitary confinement? Axel Rudakabana, not spent one day on solitary confinement. Salman Abdi's brother. Do you know when that attack happened in Frankland? There were 7 of them. Anjem Chowdhury was one of them, Salman Abdi, and 5 other jihadists. 3 officers. They chased the woman around the pool table, stabbing her while shouting Allah Akbar. They then got moved from Frankland and put in here. They have the run. If you could see what's going on inside these prisons, it's terrifying. They control every prison in the country. The government don't know what to do. Do you know, I said thank yous. I thanked Elon Musk. I want to make sure there's so many people I need to personally thank. I want to thank the Petersons. I want to thank Tammy, who travelled to this jail but wasn't allowed in at the same time that they were cancelling all my visits. I've got so many personal thank yous to give out. I'll miss people and I'll forget people. Ezra Levant, I'm going to go see him now. Ezra has continuously had my back. I think everyone needs a friend like Ezra from Rebel Media. He's continually helped me. He's helped my family and been in contact. Do you know they cut any contact with Ezra? I wasn't allowed any contact with him in there because they probably knew that he was the one man that could have helped. And I believe I'd have been out of jail if I'd had direct contact with Ezra Levant. Yeah, because I'm just going to say one more thing now, and I want to get off. I just want to get back.
I have to ask you about the new website that's launched today. FightTheMail.com.
Is that launched? I don't know. So I'm going to court. Do you know what? As you asked me on that, hold that for a sec. This is what they just handed me. Yeah, let me show you what they just handed me. But the thing is, everyone can see this now. You can see it. Yeah. This is so they come in and give me more charges. This is just insane. Yeah.
So for those of you who are watching, please go on Google and type in FightTheMail.com. It is a new website that comes live today, and it is there to help and support Tommy in his fight for justice. So go on that website, click on it as soon as Tommy finishes, and
right. This is the charges they've given me for putting me in there. £89,501. There's a £50,000 here, and then there's a list. These are what they took. 375. It's just these are the bills. 1,000, because I have to pay all of their legal costs. All of their legal costs. 5,000. There's a 20,000. Do you know what it amounts to? It's fucking funny. £300,000. So there you go. So you're back in court. You're back in court. We're hitting you for £300,000 to send you to jail for a documentary that showed the British public the truth. I'll just end it on this. I have 0 regrets. I'll do it all again tomorrow. I have absolutely 0 regrets because I believe the British public deserve to see the truth. They deserve to see exactly what the corruption of the establishment and the judiciary, and they deserve to know what's happening in their towns and cities with Islamic rape gangs. you know my next project as I come out of it? Do you know, I just filled out a form every 42 days to hold you in isolation. There's a thing called the Mandela Rule. They're not allowed to hold you in solitary confinement for more than 14 days without government approval. So it went to the government, Shabina Mahmood, who's the Justice Secretary. And every 42 days, it goes back to the government and they have to authorise your continued segregation, because it's factually, it's not like an opinion, it's factually damages you. So every 42 days, you have to fill out a form. So I filled out my forms every 42 days. And I said, this should be your last resort. This isn't your last resort. Criminals, I've done three times as long in there as I would have done as a criminal. Yeah, the Labour government fought to keep me in there. So I filled out this form and I said, this is detrimental to my mental health. This is torture. And the last form I filled out last week, I said, I'm out next week, because I know it's going straight to Shabina Mahmood. It's going straight to the Labour Party. I said, I'm out next week and I'm excited. I'm excited about my next project. Everyone now knows that the gangs that have targeted our children across this country have been Muslim and they've been predominantly Pakistani. When we're looking at these problems, we need to look at the common denominator. What's the other common denominator with these gangs? In every constituency that they rate, it's Labour. Every single one of them. The question needs to be, who allowed it to happen? Why did they allow it to happen? Was it, these are questions, was it for votes? Did they allow the Muslim community to rape our community, to rape our daughters in every town and city, in their thousands and hundreds of thousands across this country, to keep their block vote? What was the reason? And I'm going to go to Rotherham, Rochdale, Oldham, Newcastle, other cities, and I'm going to go into those cities and look at what Labour's involvement was. We're going to ask those questions. If you're a Labour politician, you're a councillor, if you've got dirty hands and you covered it up, me and my cameraman will be documentary, working title, Labour Islamic Rape Gangs. It's coming soon. And as I was filling out that form, I was picturing her face. I was picturing her, because I think that's why they stopped me coming out on Friday, probably. But as I was filling out for, TikTok, we're getting back to work. I want every single person that has maintained the support for Urban Scoop. My team are here. We still have a team. I have documentary after documentary already done in here, wrote out, ready to go. I want to take some time with my family. But again, the purpose of this lawfare, all of it, which now I'll be on the 5th of June, then I'll be in court, then my trials, is financial terrorism. Try and keep you occupied and to drain you. I'm grateful to every one of you who support me, so that I'm in a position to fight these cases, so that I'm in a position to legally battle them. And in the court of public opinion, we win every time. It doesn't matter, and it's part of, I think I've been put in this position continuously to help awaken the general public. And I think that I'd like to thank the Attorney General for his continued prosecutions, because you're helping me do my job massively. Fight the Mail, innit? What is it? Fight the Mail what?
Fightthemail.com.
Fightthemail.com.
So I want everyone to go onto that website now and to support Tommy. So Tommy, all I can say is thank you very much for everything that you've done. The British public love you, but what they want you to do now, they're happy that you've come out fighting, but they want you now to go home, to relax with your family. And we look forward to a bigger, stronger Tommy Robinson. And we want to see a different shave under your chin, mate.
My first stop is Turkish barbers. Don't believe you read about them. Turkish barbers. Get yourself to London 13th of September. That's the most, do you know what? I think we had I think we put the fear of God into them when they saw the way we united this country. When we united people from everywhere to come together. The 13th of September is going to be the biggest day. Make your plans. There's no excuses, okay? We're going to have a party atmosphere. We've got I've got people that I've looked up to that have inspired me coming and speaking at that event. True free speech activists from across the globe are coming. I'm going to go to the barbers. I'm going to go have a full English. I'm going to go join some time with my family and my children. So.
Excellent, Tommy. Thank you very much.
Nationware.co.uk.
If I can get the microphone, sir, all I can say is thank you very much. And We look forward to engaging with you, sir.
Thank you again. Yeah, just a thank you to everyone. You know, if the people who emailed me, you know, the moments I had in there, just reading some of their stories, their letters, their birthday cards. I think I got over 20,000 birthday cards, and I sat there smiling, knowing that what they've tried to do hasn't worked. It's had the opposite effect.
But I heard you were bringing out about 10 big bags of mail today.
25.
Oh my God.
25. And I read every one of them, and it was beautiful for me to read. So thank you. If you took the time to email me, write a letter, support me, I'm incredibly grateful. Do you know my son played over the phone? So you know when people were speaking out, some influential people across the world, he was playing me their recordings. It was beautiful. It was great.
Excellent stuff. Thank you very much, sir. We'll meet up soon. Thanks a lot. So that's Tommy Robinson. He's now making his way towards.
Right, guys. Well, I mean, that's
Tommy Robinson.
Obviously, we knew it was coming. We knew it was happening.
Being released
and just great news. Just absolutely fantastic news. 5,000. I mean, listen, this is a Tuesday morning, 9:05. We've got 5,000 people watching this live stream. That breaking news. And you know, you heard what he got to say. He's got the bit between his teeth, and he's coming out there swinging. He's coming out there fighting. And I think what needs to happen now is probably Tommy needs to be left alone as much as possible, so he can have some time with his family, and he needs to, you know, get a bit of time to get his head together and work out exactly what's just happened to him and exactly, you know, what's gonna happen next. And of course, they're hitting him with another court appearance on the 5th of June. And I don't know if you guys can get across to the Urban Scoop website, support Tommy on the Urban Scoop website, sign up to his website, because he's going to need all the help and support he can get from people. But obviously he is going to, I would imagine, going to need to be left alone. I'm not going to be annoying him or bugging him, because he's got a lot on his plate. And when you're fighting big battles, you've got to have a little bit of downtime. So he certainly needs to detox. And I thought it was interesting that he came out wearing a cross. And again, I know he's been reading the Bible in prison. He told me that. When I met him in December, he told me that he'd been meeting with a pastor. Obviously, I tried to meet him tried to go into prison at the end of January, and my visit was banned. They didn't give a reason. They just seemed to be banning anyone that was in the team, basically, that was involved in organising events. They just slapped a ban on everybody. But thanks everybody for watching. Again, if you could do me a favour, go across to the I think I've just put 1,000 subscribers on the Counter Media channel. So if you could dive across to Counter Media and subscribe to the Counter Media channel, that would be absolutely great. That's on YouTube. And again, let's just see what happens next, because I am concerned about what's going to happen on the 5th of June. And I think we've got to be ready if the worst happens, that we do have some form of protest, peaceful, legal, legitimate, obviously, but just amazing. I mean, that's great news. And of course, that video has been seen, I think, more than any other British documentary that's ever been made, possibly more than any documentary that's ever been made in the planet, but I'm not sure about that one. I don't want to be accused of spreading fake news. Yeah, and I think he came out. He was very articulate, very focused. He knew exactly what he wanted to do. Knew exactly what he was doing. He has a plan. Obviously, 13th of September is going to be absolutely massive, and going to be just an amazing event. Yeah, I mean, it's great news, guys. It's great news, and again, but we've got to be vigilant, because the reality is he's out, but we know that the lawfare continues, and they will try and get him on anything. They will hit him with absolutely everything, left, right, and centre. So let's look at some of these comments. Yeah, I think a lot of people are the same. I think people are absolutely delighted. And again, I think the reality is, if you can share this video, because we need to get these videos out everywhere, because there'll be another narrative coming out. There'll be a narrative coming out from the mainstream media. So what we need to do is share this narrative, because this is the truth. This is straight from the horse's mouth. You've heard what he said when he came out there. You know, he's still massively involved in the movement. He's massively involved in uniting the kingdom, obviously. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. Tommy for Prime Minister. Well, yeah, I think listen, to be honest with you, I would 100% agree with that. When you see some of the people that are leading political parties in the UK, including the current Prime Minister, my goodness, wouldn't it be great to see Tommy as Prime Minister? I think the website is Fight the Mail. I think it's Fight the Mail. I'll just check that. I'll see if I can find it here. Fight the Mail. Let's have a look. That's not coming up on Google. Let's have a look. Fight the Mail.com. Try that. If that works. Okay, so yeah, at the minute it's on. I'm not sure if there is a new site, but this one is on Urban Scoop. So I'm going to put this in the comments. I'll just I'll share screen here so you can see it. So let's have a look. Okay, there you go. So that's the site. Can you see it? So can we? Oh yeah, there we go. It's coming now. So yeah, Fight the Mail is the website that he's pointing people to at the minute. So if you can dive onto that, Fight the Mail, and it's just you just go to Urban Scoop urbanscoop.news/Fight the Mail, and then there's obviously there'll be more information on that page. So let me pop it in here. We just grab this. Okay. Get this on the screen. Loads of comments. Do you know what, guys? I can't get through all the comments. There's gazillions of comments here. Okay, let's have a look. Where is it? Fight the Mail. Okay, guys. Listen, for some reason I can't get that on the screen. So that's the website. It's the Urban Scoop website, and you just go to Fight the Mail. For some reason I haven't got. I just think it's just there's that many comments. I just haven't got to the end of the comments there, and I've got my wrong glasses on, so I can't really see exactly what you're saying in the comments here. So look at this one. Is the government inciting potential summer gatherings into riot cops, inciting to lock us all up? Well, I mean, they can't lock us all up. That's the thing, isn't it? I mean, if we're going, I think this is the important thing, that we the United Kingdom events have always been peaceful. We've made sure every single one of them has been completely peaceful, and this one will be exactly the same. They're going to be peaceful. Yeah, Fight the Mail. Fight the Mail on Urban Scoop, and absolutely, I think we should stop reading the Daily Mail. I used to read the Daily Mail a lot. It used to be a right wing newspaper, and I used to read quite a bit of it. But yeah, let's have a look. Brilliant news. We need to get all the political prisoners. Absolutely. I mean, the reality is the big picture with this, and I keep going back to it. The big picture with all this, the big picture with every single bit of this, is we need a political solution. And as you know, my problem is that we don't have a political solution at the minute. We don't have it with any of the political parties. We would only have it if we have a coming together of political parties to bring all the best minds and all the best political minds, all the best economic minds, all the best legal minds, all the best military minds. That's what needs to happen. There needs to be a coming together of all the parties that basically care about this country. And by the way, I do not include the Conservative Party, the Labour Party, the Liberal Democrat Party, or any of the others, the Green Party, any of them. They are part of the Uni Party. They are part of the problem. And again, the leadership with reform, I don't agree. I don't include Nigel Farage, Zia Youssef, Richard Tice in that statement, because I think that they're part of the problem. They're part of the Uni Party. They're part of the deep state. And what we need is something completely new. We need something totally revolutionary. Now, if I'm proved wrong, and let's say Reform win a storming victory at the next general election and prove me wrong and prove to be supporters of free speech, they prove to be really tough on immigration, they prove to be on it when it comes to deporting illegals, when it comes to throwing people out of the country that hate the country, when it comes to dealing with the Islamists and the extremists and the far left and Antifa and all the Quangos and everything else. If they clean house and I'm wrong, then I'll put my hands up and I'll say, I totally misread the situation, Nigel. I'm completely wrong. But I don't think I am wrong. And that's what worries me. The thing that worries me is I think we've got a big political problem. Now, UKIP under Nick are making all the right sort of noises, without a shadow of a doubt. But there's issues there as well, because the reality is the party isn't big enough. It doesn't have a big enough base. So there needs to be an amalgamation. There needs to be people coming together from Ben Habib, Rupert Lowe, some of the decent people in the Tory party, because there are decent people in the Tory party, like Suella Braverman and some of the others. Very few, I might add. Some of the decent people in Reform, and keep going about the SDP as well. There needs to be an amalgamation of all these forces, because the reality is no single party has the answers, and no single party can solve this. And I keep saying it. And the pledge needs to be the ideology of this. And again, Tommy's fully supporters of the pledge. Tommy's fully behind the pledge. So that's what we need to do. We need to really get on our game, and we need to be working and thinking about how we can solve this politically. When I say we, I'm not about me, because who am I? I'm nobody. I'm just a guy sitting on a computer in Northern Ireland. But the political leaders, need to be at it, and they need to be reaching out to Tommy, because Tommy's stock will be rising, as it always does. The more they persecute Tommy and the more they imprison him, the more his stock rises. Tommy was told years ago by a Church of England vicar in about 2013-14 that he was to be a sacrificial lamb for this country. And that doesn't mean he's going to die. That means that he becomes the lightning rod. He becomes the figurehead of the British working class and the persecution of the British working class, of all racial backgrounds and of all religious backgrounds. We look at what's happened to some of our Muslim friends. We think about Lubna. We think about Shohab, who have been absolutely tormented because they took a different narrative to the Muslim Brotherhood, Deobandi, Islamist narrative that dominates so much of that community. And because they spoke out and they took the side of the British people, took the side of common sense and decency, they have been ostracized, bullied, intimidated, Shohab by the state and by the Islamic community. And as far as I know, both Shohab and Lubna are both still Muslims. They haven't become apostates. They haven't left the faith. They're still Muslims, and yet they are being demonized and bullied by the people. But let's think about Tommy, because I think when Tommy was standing there, he, there was a presence about him. There was a gravitas about him, and I don't know if you noticed this. There wasn't one swear word came out of his mouth. Now, Tommy used to swear like a drunken sailor. There wasn't one swear word in that whole speech. He was wearing a cross around his neck. So I wonder, has something deeply spiritual happened with Tommy while he's in prison? I don't know. I don't have any information. I haven't spoke to him. I haven't been in contact with him since February, sort of middle of February. So I don't know. But that would be an amazing thing if Tommy has had some sort of spiritual experience, and you don't wear a cross when you come out of prison. If you wear everything Tommy does, he thinks about what he does. So he's coming out there with a cross around his neck. He's coming out there with a cross around his neck for a reason. He's saying that he identifies with that cross, and I think that's something that we just, the Christians in the chat and the Christians in the group, we need to think about that and think: is Tommy actually seeking God? It's an interesting point, isn't it? It's an interesting point. Well, guys, I'm going to close the stream now because I know everybody's got to get to work and we've got stuff to do. He's the Samson of our time. Well, hopefully he'll not get his eyes poked out and his hair cut off. He's going to get his hair cut off, but I hope he doesn't get his eyes plucked out like Samson did. Yeah, well, Samson beat the enemies of his country back in his day, didn't he? But it cost him his life, so we don't want that for Tommy, okay? But I get what you're saying. He's a warrior. That's what he is. Well, look, I mean, I'm not going to bug him because at the end of the day, he wants to be. He'll want to be with his family. I'll probably send him a WhatsApp, just saying, good to see you. But I'm not going to be pestering, because there's nothing worse when you want to have peace and quiet with your family than people start pestering you, and I'm not going to do that. But yeah, absolutely right. I agree with that 100%, 100%. I'll have a quick look at some of these more of these comments, then I'm going to close it off, guys, because, and again, thanks everyone for jumping on. It's been a great morning for sure. Press the button, everyone. It takes a second. Yeah, thanks for that, guys. Yeah. Look, if you're not already subscribed, there's 2 or 3 different platforms. I'm streaming this to X. I'm streaming this to 2 YouTube channels. I'm streaming it to Richard Inman. I'm also streaming it to Counter Media. Now I'm trying to get Counter Media monetized at the minute. So if you could subscribe to Counter Media, it doesn't guarantee that I will, and it doesn't guarantee it'll stay monetized, because we're dealing with a very, very censorious state that can press a button and get your details sent to the big social media platforms in the States, and all of a sudden you vaporize and you're back in a sandbox and nobody can see your content anymore. Now that doesn't seem to be happening as much at the minute, but do me a favor, guys, get across and subscribe to Counter Media on YouTube, and let's hope that we don't get the Stasi from Starmer's office getting my channel taken down. But yeah, I mean, the thing is, I think this is the thing about all this. This is why it takes a lot of time to do all this stuff. It takes a lot of resources and a lot of effort. I'm working on the Counter Media website at the minute. That's up. It's not fully finished. It's basically a kind of a dummy site at the minute, but it's got a little bit of very, very basic content on it. But I want to have these platforms so that they can't be cancelled. That's why, again, it's really important that people subscribe to UK Freedom Movement, the UK Freedom Movement website as well, which is UK. Oh crumbs! You know what? I'll do another video on that. But anyway, we need to basically be able to keep in touch with each other. So it's really important that we can all be able to contact each other, and we can have a network that is untakedownable, if that makes any sense. So very shortly, I will be getting the Counter Media website so that you can subscribe. You can't do it at the minute, by the way. So you subscribe, you can send your email addresses, we can keep in touch, we can send news to you, send exclusive videos, all that sort of stuff. So that's something I'll be doing over the next few days and weeks, because Counter Media, it's going to be totally different, because it's Christian based. It's going to be positive. It's going to be based on Christian values. It's going to be based around the gospel, but it's also going to be talking about politics as well, and how Christianity and politics overlap, and how to do that properly. Because living in Northern Ireland, I've seen how it's done not properly, but also I've seen how it's been done quite well. So I think these are really, really important things that we've got to look at and discuss. So yeah, guys, thanks for everybody jumping on this. Again, there was no plan for this. As soon as I got the YouTube, the X feed, I thought we better get it on YouTube, because I don't think it was going live to YouTube. So great. And what's this here? I can't even find Counter Media on X. Yeah, it's not on X at the minute. It's on YouTube. So it's a YouTube channel called Counter Media, and the website is countermedia.co.uk. As far as I remember, I think it's .co.uk, not .org.uk. In fact, I'll get the website and I'll put it in here. Just bear with me 2 seconds, guys. Now, again, guys, this is just a work in progress. This site is not a finished article, okay? But hopefully I can get this up on the screen. Answer your comments. There we go. Okay, there we go, guys. That's the website. Now you can't sign up to that. It's literally just there at the minute. But that's what I'm going to be working on. I'm going to build that up, and that's going to basically be another platform to get our information out there, so that if we do get cancelled, we'll still be able to share video, because I don't think this battle's over. I don't think the battle with social media is over, or over social media. I don't think the battle over the internet's over. They're going to get more and more censorious as they see their power waning, they're going to try harder and harder to get at us. And like I say, that site is just a little baby site. It's not a finished article yet, but at least you've got the site there. And like I say, at the minute, you can't sign up to anything on the site because we haven't got the email system set up yet. But we'll have that done in the next few days and weeks, because this is going to be another really important voice. And it's going to be different because it is going to be Christian based, and it's going to be promoting faith, family, and flag. And obviously the flag bit is where the politics comes in. Okay, guys, listen, I'm going to shoot off. Thanks everybody for watching. Still 4,500 people on this live stream. Have a pint for Tommy tonight. There'll be some people popping champagne, no doubt. Those of us who are slightly better off than I am. But yeah, have a great day, great news, and I'll see you all soon. And let's keep fighting. See you soon.